Far-Flung Tin Can, we are bridging the gap between two diverse worlds, the Christian home and the mission field, through missions awareness, missions engagement, and worship in everything. We're traveling the world to the most remote places on the planet to find those who have laid down everything to say yes to God. And whoever said missions can't be fun? God is calling. Will you take the call?
Far-Flung is in Japan with 81 missionaries from around the world broken up into 10 different teams. This is a massive project that they do every 4 years in a different country.
All right, so right now we just landed on the first island, but the weather's bad, so we found out that there's no helicopter, so now we're trying to pivot. Gary had already made a plan B, so he started looking up stuff to see if, he could do some witnessing here on this island, and we're gonna see if we can get a room. I think we're looking for a place to stay tonight, so that's the update.
We will walk this and go around this.
Yeah.
Plans just keep changing, but what else do we expect on a Far-Flung Tin Can trip but change plans? It's the way it works. It's the way we love it.
Well, we just got the call that we're not going to be able to take the helicopter over to Nagashima. So we're going to have to stay in the hotel here and fly back to the mainland tomorrow. So we're going to see what the Lord might have for us here on this island for the rest of the evening and early tomorrow morning.
I believe in my heart that today is Friday. It is about 3 a.m. And we are about to ride the rails into Tokyo and then catch a flight to Oita with a smaller team, do some acoustic recording today at the monument site in Oita. And then spend the night there and do some more ministry tomorrow. And it's gonna be amazing. We're all very tired. Last night was a late night after a difficult day of travel and strenuous recording circumstances. So, excited to see the team come together for a big win today.
It's early. No, I have nothing to say. It's early.
Like a gold ring and a pig.
How early is it?
How early is it? It's so early that we're tired.
How tired are you?
We're so tired that it's early.
Jeremy, tell me what can change today.
What, who me? What?
What do you predict is going to change today?
So, there's a word in English that we use. It's called everything. You know where the 7-Eleven is? I had a joke on the backside of that, but he stole the moment, so whatever.
It's 3:30.
We're going to the right airport. I don't know what terminal, but we're gonna start with one, right? I mean, that makes sense.
What are we doing, Kyle?
Surviving. Do you want more than that?
I mean, it's your film.
Yeah. We have,
Your film.
we have arrived. There's lots of signs about where you should park, but it's in Japanese because we're in Japan.
Well, there's Jeremy to our right.
Oh, there's Jeremy to our right.
There's Jeremy to our right.
Jeremy is to our right. We got a Kako? We'll be good.
Big stretch.
Legs already tired.
Let's go. No, we need to. Oh, God.
Elevate up. This is your moment. I don't want to do my moment.
We're trying to find Terminal 3, I think.
Why? No, why?
Hey, let's be responsible. Wait till the door closes.
It's not your fault.
I don't want to do this. I don't want
Take responsibility.
Seriously. Hey, come on.
We're in the airport.
Don't follow your regular navigation skills because this is a domestic flight, but we're at the international departure.
Traveled up to the top of the volcano, we found a shrine. So we were doing intercessory prayer
over Japan, over this particular island, which happened to have population of this island, Hachijojima, was 7,000 people. So we ascended the top of the mountain in the rainstorm and prayed, and also found a place where some people had put their ancestors in a Shinto ancestral grave. And so that, prompted us to pray more in a spiritual warfare way.
We just landed in Oita. It's a small island, and I think we're about to eat some lunch. We're also meeting with the missionaries that are here, and I'm not sure what else is going on. Things happen. So we're here. We're in Oita at a Japanese sushi place, and
It's a Japanese sushi place.
And it was really hard to find a chip.
see,
You can't get the insult out. It's not worth it.
it's not, well,
Those are like,
And so you can order things too?
yeah, and then those things come on the top.
They come on the top.
Top thing, yeah.
Blue?
that is all.
Drink.
They made it. I tried to do another order, and it was like, please wait until we prepare it.
What's he doing?
It feels like we are a big family, and this is a big family reunion. That we come together, and some of us see each other like every 4 years, and when we see each other, there's that excitement. And also, in this particular project, we had the chance to be divided into smaller groups, and to me, it was so nice, so feeling to be able to connect in an individual basis with many different people. Because in the big group, there is the big general excitement. But then when you get to know more and talk more, you feel even more connected. You feel like you have given a step further or deeper into that connectedness and that intimacy in the big family. So it's priceless.
So I was on Team Kilo. There were 9 of us, and we traveled from Fukushima a few hours north to a city called Sendai. We met the pastors there. They were amazing, Makoto and Ruth, and they showed us around their city a little bit. We did some house-to-house prayer with them. They were so sweet. They had all their kids with them, and they were just so bright and happy and just had the most positive countenance ever, and they were so welcoming. They were excited for us to be there. It was so precious.
I just wanted to share a little bit of just what happened just a few minutes ago in the lobby of the place we were staying. Last night I was praying, and I said, Lord, put people in our path. We actually prayed that yesterday as a group. Lord, put people in our path that we can minister to. And so we go to breakfast. We come back in the lobby, and there's 4 gentlemen there. And, my goal here is to share the gospel, but do it in a way that doesn't offend the culture. That's one of the things I was praying. I said, Lord, show me how to do it. Well, here comes this guy, and come to find out he was a Japanese weightlifting champion in the bench press, 78 years old. Bench press is 170 kilograms, which is about 75 pounds, which is a big weight. And he's won the competition in Tokyo. He was saying. And so he actually came up to me and introduced himself, and then we got to cutting up, and he found out I was a weightlifter. And so he and I immediately connected, if you will. And then it opened the door for me to share as much of my testimony as I could in just a few minutes there. And so I told him, I said, I'll do some feats of strength for you. So I took the phone book, ripped it, and then took the steel bolts. So he's been in athletics his whole life. They were here on vacation, and here we are. And he asked me the question, what are you doing here? And boom, see, that's the opener there. Well, we're here to share the love of Jesus Christ and share the gospel. That was my response. So, man, it was great interaction, and we were able to share the gospel with these 4 gentlemen.
It was such an honor to be able to be in Fukushima with my friends, Pastor Francisco, Pastor Leo, and Jason. We got to spend a day at 2 different churches and meet pastors and hear their heart and listen to them. The first church that we got to go to, the pastor there poured his heart out to us about his time of pastoring people through the trauma that had taken place during the power plant explosion, the tsunami. He was sharing with us moments when he pastored people through loss. There was people that attended his church that went to work one day and then couldn't go back home the next day because of the tsunami and never saw their kids again. Just really awful things that had taken place. And he got to pastor them. He got to shepherd them through those moments. And it was such a beautiful moment to hear his heart and his love for people. We also had the opportunity to pray for him and speak a word over him. And we had a time of worship. He asked if anybody played a guitar. Nobody did except me. And so I grabbed the guitar I hadn't played in years, out of season moment. And I grabbed the guitar and I started playing and we started worshiping. And Pastor Leo pulled out his pan flute, son. I mean, I thought like Peter Pan was up in there, just going off on that pan flute. We worshiped to the pan flute, we worshiped to the guitar, and just had ourselves an incredible time.
I went with a group to a place called Sendai. And from Sendai, we took off to this memorial where many Christians in 1639 were killed from persecution. 1600 to 1800, 1815, the government of Japan entered into a phase and season where they persecuted the Christians. And so many Christians in Japan found places where the persecution were not so intense. And so in this place, up in this mountain, the governor of that region were not yet in alignment with the government, the national government. So he was not persecuting the Christians. And so many Christians went to that place. But the government found out and forced the region government to persecute the Christians and kill them, even though he didn't want to do that, but he had to obey. So in that year alone, in 1639, 300 Christians were executed, were killed just by being Christians. And they made sure to eradicate, to eliminate all Christian remains in that village, in that region.
And so the government had come back in and apologized and made this beautiful memorial up on the top of this hill. We had to climb 300 steps for 300 people. And once you got to the top, you could see the whole city beneath it. It was beautiful, it was so peaceful. And they had like a courtyard area and we stood there and prayed with our friends there. And then inside it was almost like a museum, but they had some statues and memorials set up. We just prayed over the region and the Christians that are still there and the people that are not saved yet. And then we went inside the building and just had a few moments of silence. And then someone on our team asked Makoto and Ruth if we could sing. And they said, you know, we don't know if that's ever been done here before, but, you know, I think that would be appropriate.
My team got to go to Oita. We got to go to the site of the martyrs, of the Christian martyrs, who I think there were about 300 that were murdered. We got to go to that martyr site. We got to sing a couple songs about redemption, and we got to worship at that site. And I think that was one of the most powerful things.
This is one of the places we wanted to go to because of the history of this place. And he starts talking about how they came here a little bit ago to do some prep work for this recording. And tell them what you told me.
Yeah, so we were here just like a couple weeks ago, just like kind of worship, you know, pray over the place and stuff. And then at the back of the site, there's this like kind of like a plaque where I think it's about 25, 30 years ago, some local Japanese people, they made some donations to take care of the park. And so they got a list of names here. And so I was here with my wife and we're reading out the names, and right here is the name of my wife's mother. I had no idea. I've been here for 20 years. I had no idea that even happened. And the story on her, so her mother passed away. I never met her. And then when she passed away like 25 years ago, that's when my wife started to have all kinds of questions about life and stuff. That's when I met my wife. And then she's like, and then she came to meet the Lord, basically. So her mother's death actually played a huge role in that. And to come back.
And she wasn't a believer?
She was not a believer at all.
But for some reason, she helped with this martyr memorial.
Yeah.
And on the back of this rock where you can't even see it, she's been here.
Yeah. Yeah. So 25. So we come back, we see that, see the legacy, see my wife, see our kids and what's changed, generations. So, her life was not in vain.
How emotional was it when you were looking?
We're both like crying and stuff. I mean, it was really intense. Yeah, just to see, it was crazy.
この地は国主大友宗麟が保護したため
So this area was protected by Sorin Otomo, who was the lord of the country, and Christianity was awakened and prospered under him. Especially in the area around Katsuragi, which is this area where we're standing right now, around 200 people raging. There was an old man who was aged 84 years old, all the way down to a young girl who was only 14. They died between the years of 1661 and 1673. And so these believers, they were unyielding to cruel persecution of the shogunate, the government. They were not afraid of severe punishment. They lived with single-minded faith, surviving and finally being summoned to heaven as martyrs. But in this world, there are no funerals, there are no tombs because their lives are not in vain.
There is a remnant who want to see you. There is a remnant who wants you more than anything. There is a remnant who want to see you. There is a remnant who wants you more than anything. There is a remnant who want to see you. There is a remnant who wants you more than anything. There is a remnant who want to see you. There is a remnant who wants you more than. And we are the remnant. We want to say, we want you more. We want you more. We are the remnant who want to see you. We are the remnant who we are the remnant. We want to see you. We are the remnant who wants you more. Say we are. Jesus, we make room. Come and take your rightful place. Take your rightful
We got to visit another pastor over in Fukushima. They have an organization that raises awareness for radiation. So a lot of people know that during the power plant explosion It had caused a radiation to spread all over Fukushima, and they have an organization that makes people more aware of how to live in that, what to do, and just how to survive through those moments. But we got to go outside and we used their tools, and we did find that there was still radiation exposure there in Fukushima, and we used those tools and found that. So it was really cool, and I thought what was really neat about that moment is hearing their heart for the people there. They care about the people there. They were telling us that during that time they really got to minister to people, share the gospel to people who were scared, and you're just living in fear. We need people who are full of hope, full of Christ, and that's who these people were. And they pointed people in the right direction and give them God. So that was an incredible time that we had with them as well, getting to just love on them, listen to them, encourage them. Very grateful for that time with our Far-Flung family.
We're at Catch the Fire Oita. We're getting ready to have service, and there's different people that come. There's believers, unbelievers, people that are just curious why there are Americans here. It feels very authentic and real and personable. So we're excited to meet these people, hang out with them more, and talk about Jesus.
So first, everybody, thank you for coming. So we have, as you guys can see, we have friends coming from not Japan. Leave it to you guys.
And I came from America.
アメリカから来ました。
And we get to travel all over the world.
本当に世界中旅してる。
And last week we were in the Arctic.
先週まで北極に行ってました。
One time I was there and it was negative 40 degrees Celsius.
マイナス40度だったって北極で。
And my beard froze.
ひげが凍りつきました。
こんにちは。
こんにちは。
はじめまして。私たちは日本にいることができてとても幸せです。私たちを見学していただきありがとうございます。ジェレミーです。音楽プロデューサーです。アメリカから来ました。私たちのグループはアフリカ、ブラジル、ポルトガル。That one? We split up and one boat finds a little village off the river. And he came back with this big book, and it was a Bible that was in their language. And for us, it was a lesson in how God can use you to do things when you don't even know what's happening.
That they would develop real relationships with each other.
で、私たちがそれぞれ本当に良い関係を。
All right, so we had a long day yesterday. Drove like 7 hours, driving to Fukushima and back. Got home, went to bed at like 11. Got up at 2:45. Drove 2 hours to Tokyo. Flew 2 hours to this island. Drove an hour in this rental. Then recorded all day. Did a house church tonight. Now me and Steven just drove another hour back to the airport, where Kenny and Gary have been island hopping. They have flown from their island to Tokyo to this island. Sorry, still not used to driving on the left. And now we're picking them up. And Sean, Mateo, Brooklyn, and Whitney are on the opposite end of this island. And we're gonna pick them up, drive them 2 hours to where they're staying tonight, and we're all gonna go minister into some unreached villages tomorrow. Oh my God. Oh.
Just keep going. You flip another Yui up here.
Oh my gosh. So we're getting Gary and Kenny. My phone has not stopped.
How tired are you in your whole life? Like, where does this rank? How tired you've been?
It's mixed with one of the most stressful times I've ever had. Because you can be stressed out and not tired, and that's awful. I'm very stressed and very tired.
How you feeling, Gary?
Oh man, what a journey.
You got 2 more hours.
I know. What? 2 more hours?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
What are we doing? I'm trying to find the other hotel.
What other hotel?
There's 2. So that we're not, I was like, really? Because the company decided to let us pay for 2 people per room and double beds, but really it'd just be a twin and a half bed for one. So we got 2 hotels. One of them is smoking. We're on.
Looks like death sucking on lives.
We're on 22 hours awake, but the day before wasn't a day of rest.
Far-Flung Tin Can is spreading the gospel and helping others in the most remote places on earth. Far-Flung's work in Japan is ongoing, and you can be a part. You can apply to join us on our monthly Far-Flung trips, or you can help send us to far-flung places by giving. To find out how to give or go, visit farflungtinkin.com.